So having done a couple of these over the years, and recently having been at Mary's What's Next gig in Las Vegas, you start to see a lot of the same data, you start to hear a lot of the same things, and you might come away from these things and say, you know, I really do think there's a market here. So hopefully, though, I can share some things that reinforce some beliefs you already have, reconfirm some things that Steve and others have shared, as well as give you some insight into AARP that may or may not be helpful, but typically I find, you know, scratches the curiosity bug that a lot of people have about us. So I just want to tip my hat to demographics, since I have a lot of really great demographers on my staff. I feel I always have to at least show some of their work. And then just go through some of the things that 50 plus are telling us, and then try to pull it together and pose some questions at the end. But I better take off my glasses because there's a lot of slides here, and I don't think I can speak quite as fast as Steve. Okay. All right. So just to give you a sense of how we go at the market, everybody, you know, basically is looking for top line and bottom line. Well, we're certainly looking for revenue, and for us, the revenue is key because it gets recycled to fund all of our social mission activities, all of our lobbying, all of our outreach, all of our educational stuff that goes out to the world to help people age in dignity and with purpose, which is our mission. At the same time, we try to do what the market won't do. So where we identify gaps are the gaps where the market is not filling the social need. So going back to the origins of AARP, retired teachers could not get health insurance, right? And after going to every carrier in the country, all refusing because they all said it was actuarially you know, a non-profitable market, we went out, bore the risk, demonstrated that it in fact was a profitable market, and then others followed. And this also speaks to a slightly different competitive model than, you know, for-profit organizations have. And that is that for our social mission to be achieved, forget all of our lobbying, all of the explicit social mission type work we do, but just using the social entrepreneurial model of products serving a social purpose, for us to succeed in fulfilling those gaps, we need others to follow us. And our hope is that, you know, in terms of product standard and things like that, we'll set the bar, demonstrate that, in fact, there are profits to be made, and then others will follow our lead. And for us to stay, you know, true to our first goal, which is bringing in the revenue, we have to make sure that incrementally those products continue to have a value proposition that justifies people coming back. But we're a membership organization, so we have other purposes for our products, and not all our products are high revenue, but they may be high member engagement, and I'll show you some of that later. But like our discounts, we make next to nothing on our discounts, and the trends in discounts is the money's going to go away completely. Just look at Travelocity and all the online travel sites which are getting rid of fees. Well, if we do deals with them, that means money ain't coming back. However, it's a service that, as a membership organization, people simply expect from us. And then there's the issue of how do we respond to the demographic changes. So, obviously, we have to have things that are more relevant to the 50 to 59-year-olds, but also, importantly, in recognition of the diversity of the market and how that's changing. So this will just give you an idea of kind of the history of AARP's product development, and the line there is our membership growth over time. And I guess you could say there's some correlation between the number of products over time and the membership curve. I think some of my folks would say it appears to be so, but maybe not. But you can see that for the most part, over time, the product development cycle was pretty slow. And it's only been really in the last 10, 15 years, and really in the last 5, that a whole slew of new products have happened, and our internal purpose to identify new products you know, has taken off. But I want to draw your attention to something else, because I do think that this is something that people have to graphic here as they think about opportunities. The big money makers for us are the things at the end of the continuum of great, important need, not discretionary spending. So as you think about where your opportunity is in this market, where on that continuum are you going to play? Is it something I have to have, or is it something I'd like to have? And then, once you get to like to have, all of a sudden you're talking about smaller segments because the financial capability to buy that is a smaller and smaller segment. So, I don't have the North Castle piece. This is a way that we've kind of cut up the data. And what this represents is share of wallet. This is the average total expenditures of a household 45 plus, which is a little over $44,000, based on labor statistics. And you can see here that we have a moderate presence in the health insurance, and we have kind of low presence in some of these other places. But there's a lot of stuff that people are spending money on that we don't even touch, right? So one of the things that we think about when we look at this is, where is that opportunity? Where are the big things? And where can we go from moderate to high and low to moderate? But rather than looking just from the market perspective, start with the customer itself. I can get you this, Steve. And you can kind of see different ways to start with the customer. I guess that's really it, putting the customer at the center. So what's worked for us? It's been a high need product, right? Targeted at older members. Our biggest earner is our Medicare supplemental insurance, which we were the first ones to market with. And that's a lesson in and of itself, given the healthcare reform process that's going on in Washington right now. Wherever this thing comes out, there are going to be gaps to fill. So identifying where those gaps will be and starting to think about where they might be is going to be a source of opportunity. The other thing that's worked for us is that the fact is that, AARP does have an older image, right? You see all these gray-haired people selling insurance on CNN day after day. You can't get around it, right? Well, take advantage of it, right? So where these things have been in alignment is where the AARP image and the product and the goals of the partner that we partner with have all come in and